What do these restaurant chains have in common? Consistency. And behind that consistency lies a crucial tool, the SOP checklist. It's the secret ingredient that keeps operations running smoothly, ensuring every dish, every detail meets the highest standards. Don't just meet expectations, exceed them with an SOP checklist.
Hey guys, welcome to Canteen Labs. I'm Neil, and today we're going to be discussing and diving deep into strategies for restaurant expansion, franchising, and growth. We're going to be covering SOPs in this video. Let's just start by understanding the backbone of a successful restaurant, which is SOPs. What are SOPs and why do we need them? So let's start by why do we need them? SOPs are so important for a restaurant if you want to franchise, you want to grow and expand. Without SOPs, I don't know how you guys are going to do that. It's going to be so difficult for you. First of all, what SOPs are going to help you do is keep the fucking dish consistent throughout multiple outlets. Everything across locations, you want to keep them consistent, have SOPs. Second, you want to protect the standards of your brand. Do you want one location to be super bougie and the second location to be trashed out and like not even considered as a good XYZ outlet? Because even if you have one restaurant which is not up to the par of your standards, it's gonna destroy your whole reputation and everything you've put into that restaurant. So protect the brand's standards, have SOPs. Third, if you want to scale quick, easy, super fast within the next six months, not even 6 months, you can do it in less than 6 months. We've done it before. SOPs are the thing you need. And also, a bonus thing, SOPs can help you reduce labor costs through cross training. Later in this video, I'm gonna give you guys on how to make training modules so you can hire faster and train the staff super fast without you being present there. So SOPs are basically the secret recipe for maintaining the same quality, the same service, the same experience across every location you're ever gonna have. It's gonna be so consistent, it's ridiculous. So let's just dive deep into the two types of restaurants that can use SOPs. We're gonna focus on these two types very specifically. One of them is gonna be a QSR, which is quick service restaurants, like a casual dining spot, cafes, fast food chains. You can be either one of those, or you can be on the other end of the spectrum, which is super fine dine. So, so what you want to do for the QSR? If you own a QSR, this is a tip for you. You want to keep it super simple. We want simple checklists and what type of checklists and what do we put inside them, we're going to discuss later down in this video. And if you have a fine dine restaurant, what do we want to achieve? We want to have the most upkept standards, correct? That's going to be our main goal on why we have SOPs. For that thing to happen, we're going to need very detailed we can have very detailed SOPs. Every step is going to be documented. Every step is going to be documented, and what steps and how detailed we're going to get. Let's just dive deep into how we're going to create simple checklists, detailed checklist, how we're going to document every step, right? So, in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys the basic steps on how to create SOPs. There's going to be 2 or 3 more videos for you guys. In this one, I'm going to give you basic. The next one is going to be semi-advanced, and the third one is going to be super advanced. The super advanced is only for the people who've been in this industry for a long time, who are chefs, head chefs, sous chefs, and who have ran their restaurants for a long time. It's for more fine dine and Michelin star restaurants and type of that category. So if you're not one of those, just stick to the basics and the semi-advanced stuff I'm going to give you guys. So the basic stuff is going to have 6 steps on creating SOPs for restaurant franchising or restaurant growth. The first one is going to be understand your brand identity. So let's just dive deep into how do you understand your brand identity. First of all, we want to align with the unique selling point that makes your restaurant stand out. So, what do I mean by a unique selling point? I hope you understand what a unique selling point is. If you don't, I'm just going to tell you what type of unique selling points I'm talking about. So, by a unique selling point, I mean you can have a product based USP. It's like a dish, a cuisine, something very specific about your restaurant that only your restaurant can do. You want to focus on that. So, you want to align your USP to the SOPs. So it's either a product USP, it can be a service-based USP, service-based USP. A service-based USB would be something like Domino's. Domino's has a service-based USB, which is like order a pizza, don't get it on 30 minutes. We get you one free. So that's a service-based USB. And the third one would be like a very simple one, which McDonald's has apparently. It's the price USB. Super cheap, right? So even that is a USB. So you want to figure out what your USP is. You want to have this. This is one of the most important steps. And this USP, once you figure it out, it's going to be so easy for your restaurant to function. So we want to figure out what our USP is. We want to keep the same visual appeal throughout. We want to keep the same branding throughout. So that's going to be the first step before we even start creating SOPs, is just figure out what your USP is and try to align everything according to that USP. The second point in making SOP for your restaurant is going to be identify key operational areas. By key operational areas, let's say for fine dine, you guys are running fine dine restaurants. What's going to be your operation area be like for fine dine? It's going to be something like bar. You want to make SOP for bars. You want to make SOP for front of house. You want to make SOP for service. You want to make SOP for multiple parts of kitchen. So this is the type of operational areas I'm talking about for fine dine. And for if you're a QSR, I just want you to focus on the assembly line process. What do I mean by assembly line process? Here's an example of an order flow that you might want to make SOPs for. So you're going to describe the process of receiving and processing orders. Every orders you get, the process from getting the order to getting it packaged and out of the door. That's an SOP. Specify how orders are communicated to assembly line staff. So once the cashier sitting on the computer gets the KOT, how do we process it from the KOT to the kitchen staff to how is it going out? So you can make an SOP for that. You want to establish protocols for managing order queues, minimizing wait time. So if you have a super busy night, let's say it's a Friday night, a Saturday night, orders are coming in, there's people in your restaurants, how are we gonna manage the order queues and how are we gonna make it more efficient? We want a SOP for that. And there's two more points we're going to cover in the next part. So that's it. As for operational areas, we want to focus on the assembly line if you're a QSR, and if you're a fine dine, we want to focus on things like this. The next part would be document detailed processes. SOPs should provide detailed guidelines, and it should be easy enough where the staff can just copy paste every process. So it's basically everything we put down in the SOPs is like copy paste, copy paste. It doesn't have to be much thinking. Everything has to be laid out in super easy way. Can be bullet points, can be checklists, whatever it is. It should break your tasks down into simple, repeatable steps. So like I said, like we were talking about here, the order flow, you wanna take that order flow, you wanna break it down into simple, repeatable steps. The steps could be copy pasted throughout every location you're gonna have. You, detailed sequence of tasks involve assembling each menu item. So you want even like how you're assembling a dish, you want to take that dish, you want to break it down into simple, repeatable steps, providing guidelines for portion control and maintaining consistency. That's an extra SOP you can create if you want to get fancy with it. The next point is going to be create checklists for daily operations, daily inventory, opening and closing, and so much more. So like even like setting tables, check inventory, food storage, purchase and ordering, everything related to daily task and operations, you're going to create an SOP for. And for those SOPs, if you want to go more simple and not make it difficult for your team to understand, you can just put in checklists like box, tick mark. You can have a repeatable checklist that every day certain tasks are to be followed, right? Daily operation covering everything from setting tables to checking inventory, basic stuff like that. For that stuff, which is done every day, you want to have checklists. It's very easy to follow checklists. So checklist could be something like cafe opening checklist, staff opening checklist, staff operation checklist, closing checklist, and quality assurance checklist or something like that. This table of contents is from our SOP checklist that is on the website canteenlabs.in. You guys can just it's absolutely free. You guys can just download the PDF and create something similar for your restaurant. The next point is going to be incorporate training modules. So a lot of the big chains and fast food chains, the fine dine restaurants, if you can afford it, create an LMS, or if you can't afford it, just make a few videos on training modules for the staff. And if you want to get fancy with it, you can also cover their specific roles, help them broaden their knowledge about the cuisine you're selling, and maybe add in a few wine pairings and a few drinks that go with the dishes, and more, put more knowledge on how to have a better service and help out the customer. And you can have so many training videos and so many booklets that your staff can get as resources. And the last point would be just regularly update and evolve your SOPs. That's like, these are the points you want to consider while making a basic SOPs. If you guys want, if you guys want a basic SOP checklist or a guide, you can go to the website canteenlabs.in. It's on there. You can, it's a PDF you can download for absolutely free. So go ahead and download those. It's going to be very easy for you to copy paste them. You don't have to use your brain. You can just use them. And if you want to make custom SOPs, of course you can. There's going to be a link down in the description below. You can come to our website, or maybe just, I'm going to put my WhatsApp number on the screen somewhere. You can just text me on WhatsApp saying you need help with this, and of course we're going to help you out. So that is the basic. That is the basic step-by-step guide. In the next video, I'm going to cover semi-advanced, and then we're going to cover the advanced stuff on how to create SOPs for restaurant growth, expansion, and franchising. Thank you.